today we have got to come up with some way of getting all this clutter that I have and make a storage unit that's going to sit right over in there. As you can see, I got my PS4 there. When I'm recording, I got my PS3 there, and there I've got my PS2, plus I have my Elgato Game Capture device that I use, and to get good quality out of my PS3, I have my HDMI splitter, not including all the accessories that go along with it, controllers and everything else. So what we got to try to do is to figure out a storage unit that will hold these units and provide ventilation for them and get rid of all this clutter. Alright, after doing some measuring, I've come up with the PlayStation, the PS4 is 12 by 12, the PS3 is 12 by 12, and the PS2 is 6 by 8. So my idea is, you can see it, is I'm going to make a unit about 36 inches tall with 5-inch shelves for the 4, 3, and 2. And it gives me the lower area for storage, to make a storage area for the controllers and all the accessories. I'm going to make it 16 inches wide by 16 inches deep, and that'll give enough, at least 2 inches on each side for ventilation, let air move around, because as all most gamers know, that these things do get hot and you don't want them overheating. And I figure I'm going to get some double-sided Velcro, and I'm going to attach that to the top using Velcro, and I'm going to attach my Elgato Game Capture device and my HDMI splitter with Velcro to either the sides or the back, and that'll keep them out of the way, and just run the wires to respective units. And also on the top will be my charger for my controllers. I'm going to try to give myself enough space for the cords going out the back, and also enough space in the front to where you can plug in the controllers and stuff to charge them up. That being the PS3 and the PS2, because the PS2 requires wired controller, so I need to have room to be able to plug that stuff in. It's going to be a mess, but we'll see what we can do. And one other thing is that all I have is the material that's in my shed. I'm going to have to come up with just the scrap lumber I have and make this work. And I think I do have enough stuff to put it together on a very cheap budget. So we're going to get started here shortly. B-52s and Dale Earnhardt don't get no better. Yeah, now we just got to go see what wood we have in my little shed here and put this thing together. Ain't very good. I'm not a videographer, but here's my basic drawing. So I got some pieces of wood that I can use. I think I'm going to use some pieces up there and try to make this job as cheap as possible. We shall see. Alright, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of that I found and use pieces of that to make 4 30-inch pieces for the sides. Okay, we got the 4 boards cut that are going to go here down the sides. Now I want to do the shelving here, which I'm going to have a board in the front of that thickness and one in the back. That way I can still have ventilation on my PlayStation units, try to keep them cooled off. But what I got to make sure of is that I take the thickness of that board, which is those, and subtract that from my shelves so that my shelves will fit in between. That board is approximately 1 inch thick, so I want it, the base and the top is going to be 16 inches wide, or 16 inches square, and so I will take 1 inch off and make my shelves at 14 and put them together, and I'll start working on the base. Alrighty, there we got our 6 pieces cut for the shelving that will go in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach them and then look around and see if I can find some wood to use for the base and the top. Use what we got in the shed and make this unit. The 3 lines drawn 6 inches apart for to attach my shelves. Something to remember when I go to attach my shelves, I want to do it like that so that my shelf is going to be right in the middle of that line all the way down. And I think I found a board to put on the top and bottom, which is going to move this up about 1 inch on the top, 1 inch on the bottom. So let's get busy on attaching the shelves. Okay, got my boards marked. 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. Now I'm going to drill the pallet holes for the screws to where I'm going to attach the shelving to. I'll put 2 holes in each of the lines. Okay, to drill my hole, I set my drill bit at 1.5 inches, and I'm going to use a countersink drill bit to make the holes. And I've already marked my boards to 1 inch off the edge all the way down on every one of them. That's where I want my screws to go to attach the shelves. Okay, got our 6 holes in there, countersunk. Okay, I put a mark on the boards that I'm going to use for my shelf, and I got a mark on this one here, if you can see it in that gray. And what I want to do is I want to line up those together and put a screw in. Got the shelving unit done. So tomorrow we'll try to figure out what to put on for the base. Well, there's my stand that I'm going to use. Built it out of nothing but lumber I found along the streets and people throwing out and excess I had here at the house. I just used my scrap lumber and took and split a board I had and attached these in between the legs, the front and the back. It ain't perfect. The only problem is you can see on the top it's got a split, but we can fix that. Put a little filler in there. I got some. But what it kind of do is I'm trying to give you an idea. It's not perfect in any way, but give you an idea of the game. That was the concept. Something in the back to keep stuff from falling out the back for that. And then on the sides, which will be one of the sides, I'm going to attach my Elgato there. So it's like I said, this is nothing fancy. It was built under $1. It's to give an idea, and maybe, you know, somebody that knows somebody can build these on mass produce them. Give me a call. Maybe we can work out a deal of taking my design and building them for gamers out there. Well, I found couldn't find any wood. It was thin enough, so what I decided to use was a piece of cardboard. I put her on there, cut her out, and I think it's going to do just fine for holding that stuff in there. I'm going to attach it like you would in these store-bought stands that you buy, where they come with paper backing. More or less it's just brown cardboard. Mine will be brown. I'll paint the damn thing. Well, we found some brown paint. Not enough to cover the bigger areas. Makes it look different, cover up all my mistakes a lot easier. Now I'll take it in and see how all the units fit. There we go. That's the finished product. Here we got the PS2, PS3, PS4. That's my signal booster and splitter from my Ethernet cables. There's my PS4 controller charger stand. And down here, that's my Elgato Game Capture. And in the back is my HDMI splitter. That mess that was back there before, nope, not there no more. The mess was out here, nope, not there. And until I get a decent box for the time being, I just got everything in here. I know, build a fancy thing and put a cardboard box in it. PS2 sits on the front board. PS3 and the PS4 sit on the front and the back. Gives a good ventilation, got plenty of room. And with it done on the sides like that, that gets the airflow around them and it keeps them cooled off. I think for a bunch of junk wood and total cost of $0 so far, the only thing I want to have in it is my labor, and if I go buy some double-sided Velcro tape just to put it on there just to keep the stuff from moving around. That'll be it. Not bad. This is Storm from Taylor Made. I hope you enjoy that project as much as I did, and as much as it's going to keep me out of trouble from having wires scattered everywhere and trying to trip everybody up. As always, y'all have a great day.